Pokémon Legends ZA took a bold step with its new real-time battle system, but is it any good? Well, now that the game has been out for over a week, it's about time we answer that. Today on Game Rant, let's discuss the pros and cons of Pokémon battles in Legends ZA. Let's begin with the good, because for a completely new feature, Game Freak did an impressive job. For one, these new Pokémon battles feel way more immersive than the turn-based system. One of my favorite parts about the Pokémon anime is how involved trainers are when it comes to commanding their Pokémon. This game allows you to feel what that's like by having your movements guide your partner. You can help them dodge attacks and find perfect openings to strike. No offense to the turn-based system, it's still great, but this feels so much cooler. And it helps that you're in danger too. When it comes to wild battles, especially with alphas, you can get knocked out before your Pokémon. As wild as it sounds, it makes this world feel more real. These creatures have the ability to do all kinds of crazy attacks. Why wouldn't you be in danger, you know? This brings me to my second pro for this battle system, the way attacks work. Before, it was easy to judge moves solely by their base power and effect. However, now each move has even more factors that can decide how good it is. Cooldowns exist, so even if a move is strong, it could be hindered by how long it takes to reset. The move's animations also matter because if a trainer's smart, they can dodge it and go for a counter attack. For example, running to the side can get you away from slower beam moves like Bubble Beam or Mystical Fire. However, if a Pokémon uses a move like Bullet Punch or Extreme Speed, it basically teleports to wherever the target is. So knowing when to dodge or use Protect is a huge deal now. All this makes it so that you really have to think about what moves you're going for. Like Fire Spin wasn't a move I would ever put on a Pokémon, but in this game, it's a very useful trap that you don't want to get caught in. I also find myself coming up with combo ideas for my moves. As an example, for Hawlucha, I use Bounce to engage and Close Combat to get the knockout if my enemy is still standing. This added depth makes each battle feel all the more invigorating. However, for all the praise I'm giving it, this system isn't perfect. The loss of Pokémon abilities greatly hinders its potential. Some Pokémon are even weaker than they would normally be because of this change. For example, Levitate gave Pokémon immunity to ground moves. Without it, so many Pokémon in ZA who never had to worry about moves like Earthquake now do. This also hurts the Mega Evolution feature, because a lot of Pokémon got a new ability when they Mega Evolved. Now they only get a stat boost. I understand that not all abilities could be translated properly, but the loss of the mechanic altogether hurts. Additionally, I feel like Game Freak should have put more detail in the description of each move. As stated previously, there are so many more aspects behind them now. Simply adding startup times as well as an estimate of the range, whether it's up close, mid-range, or long, could have done wonders. Hell, even a video example of the move like they do in fighting games would have been useful. As it is now, you need to teach a move to a Pokémon and use it if you truly want to see how useful it is. Finally, the biggest critique I have is how the speed stat is being treated. I think the fact that it lowers cooldown time is cool, but it doesn't reduce it by much. It makes it so that you're better off focusing on HP and an attack stat when building your team. While this does wonders for Pokémon that serve better as bruisers, it really hurts the speedy glass cannons that can barely take a hit. Unless you use a move with quick startup, you can't rely on the speed stat to allow you to hit first. Game Freak could have allowed speed to affect how fast a move comes out altogether, as well as a Pokémon's movement speed. The change in meta is interesting, but I think there should still be a place for fast and frail attackers. So now, the big question is, should this system stay? Well, yes and no. I think there is room for these kinds of Pokémon battles in the Legends series. However, turn-based Pokémon should remain the staple. It allows for all the stats to shine equally, and has been the format for the competitive side of Pokémon for years now. It would be weird to change things completely now. However, with the upcoming title, Pokémon Champions, planned to be the new home of official tournaments and the like, they could just keep turn-based battles there. With enough tweaks, the ZA battle system could be something that's exclusively used in the mainline games. It would be a big change, but it would definitely keep Pokémon feeling fresh. But how do you guys feel about the Pokémon Legends ZA battle system? Let me know below, and stay tuned on GameRant.com for more gaming videos just like this one.